SmackDown took place tonight from Performance Center. He started the show off with, I thought, a great segment with Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, and this was a Vince McMahon special. This was a Vince McMahon potty humor dream. Who can forget when Chris Jericho pissed in William Regal's tea all those years ago, about 20 years ago? This is what this reminded me of, a piss one. There's been numerous crap ones, there's been vomit ones, but yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the piss. So, Renee Young's in the ring for the contract signing. Sheamus comes out first, and he comes out with a doctor, with security, and a big curtain. So it was pretty clear, okay, they're doing something here, probably a drug test. That's what I thought when I saw the curtain. Then you have Jeff Hardy come out, and Hardy admits he's an alcoholic, and he goes to meetings every week. He wants to be a beacon of light for people like him. He agreed to take the drug test to ensure he gets his match with Sheamus, and Sheamus said you had to take it. Sheamus brought the doctor who's going to administer the test. Usually it takes 24 hours to get the result, but this doctor can do it faster. Hardy went behind the curtain, and he did not piss, obviously, but he made it like he's pissing, and he fills up the entire jar. Sheamus does a PSA about not doing drugs, and he mocked him, assumed he's going to do the drug test. And it's funny because he fills up the whole jar. And then Jeff Hardy, he grabs the jar of urine. It's not urine, it's probably like orange juice or apple juice, but he grabs it and he throws it on Sheamus. He throws it into his mouth. It was disgusting. It's fake, but he threw his piss on Sheamus. Hardy signs a contract, and Sheamus stumbles the ring. He goes nuts. It is hilarious. I thought this was a funny segment. I liked it a lot. I know it's a Vince McMahon special. He loves stuff like this, but I thought it was really funny, actually. So back from commercial, they show Sheamus in the bathroom. He's rinsing his mouth with Listerine. The doctor entered and told Sheamus to Hardy pass the drug test. Sheamus is furious. He's yelling him to get out. I thought this was a really good opening segment. I thought this was very entertaining. Some people don't like the potty humor, Vince loves it. It's for Vince, but I thought it worked well. I thought it was entertaining. We don't see this too much. I thought they did a very good job. And actually, I'm not that excited for the match, but I thought this was a really cool angle. Next, you got New Day. They come out, and New Day, they come out and they take knees, and they put up the Black Power fist, or the Black Panther fist, whatever it's called. And their opponents are Shunsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Nakamura and Cesaro win. Not much. Shunsuke Nakamura, when I see him on my TV, I look at him and I see a guy who is basically phoning it in. And we know he's been phoning it in for years now. But I see him and he's basically... It's as if you're watching a guy who gave his company his notice 2 weeks in advance. So, hey, I'm going to be done here, and why do I have any motivation to work hard? That's how it seems like. That's how he works. That's how he's been for both 2 years now. The guy doesn't care. It's just, I don't know why he still gets pushed. I kind of wish they'd release him. I think he did this because he does not want to work hard in Japan anymore because the style was too much on his body. But to me, it's the point where it's like, fuck this guy. I respect his work in Japan, but fuck, he's not going to do shit. Just screw this guy. I'm getting annoyed with him. I'm starting to not like this guy. But they go backstage. Otis and Tucker are getting ready for their match. Mandy's there. She comes and she kisses Otis, Lucky Otis, and she hands him the Money in the Bank briefcase. And they're showing something where and it seems like Tucker's about to turn on Otis. Tucker tells him Otis should cash in tonight on Braun Strowman if the opportunity presents itself, and they did not. But they're just building something up there. They show Sheamus and Jeff Hardy brawling in the back. They had officials trying to break them up. I thought this was a cool segment. They show a good package about the IC title in the tournament. They looked at the history of the title and highlighted several champs. They highlighted Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the first champion, Pat Patterson, Ultimate Warrior was champ, Triple H champion, Randy Orton, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. All the big names have all been International champions. Next, we get to the finals, and they hype this up really well. It's AJ Styles against Daniel Bryan, and they have a long pay-per-view style match. I'm surprised it was not at Backlash, but I just don't need it to be there. I don't want Backlash to be too long. You just have a great match on TV. Probably their best match they got on the main roster. I thought this was. They've had matches. They had a match last year at the Royal Rumble that I despised. It was a piece of shit. Year before that, I think late 2018, they had a series of matches. They had actually a really good match on SmackDown where Daniel Bryan beat AJ to win the belt. I think they had matches before that as well. AJ might have won one. So they've had good matches. I think this was their best one. I thought they had a hell of a match here. I thought this was excellent. One of the best SmackDown matches in a long time. They had a hard-hitting match, told a great story. They went 38 minutes with 4 commercial breaks. Probably about 28 minutes. Probably, you can cut off 10, but it was fantastic. So Bryan had the early advantage. Styles fought back. It was one of those matches where I'm watching it. It can go either way. They can easily go with Daniel Bryan. He was Intercontinental Champ before. I think he was Intercontinental Champ before he had to leave, and he never came back for about 3 years in 2015. And AJ's never been the champ before, IC champ, so they had a great match. It's 2 guys. It's 2 of the best guys. I kind of wish they would be wrestling for the world title because they're both so much better than Strowman, Miz, or Morrison. They definitely belong in that program, but this was a hell of an Intercontinental title match. It felt like a major match on a SmackDown show. We haven't seen it in a while. This match was excellent. It was fantastic. Went back and forth. People there sold it well. People are really excited. So Bryan applies the yes lock, but Styles makes it to ropes to break the hold. Bryan grabs Styles' arms, hits kicks to the head. A really great spot where Bryan set up for the running knee, but Styles caught him in air with Styles Clash. That was insane. That was just one of the best spots all year. Then after that, he hits a phenomenal forearm, and he pins Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles wins the Intercontinental title. Your new champ. After the match, Renee Young interviews the new champion, AJ Styles, and it was a good way to really put over this win. Your new Intercontinental champion, AJ Styles, well-deserved. Hell of a matchup here on SmackDown. They recap Miz and Morrison embarrassing Strowman last week. Strowman's mad. And, of course, he flipped the van on them. In the back, they show Strowman. It says there's a lot going on tonight. He's being interviewed by, I think it's Kayla. It was all right. He's angry at what's happening from last week. They do the ring crew, and there's going to be a celebration for Bayley and Sasha, the new champs. They recap last week, Bayley and Sasha Banks defeating Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross to win the titles when Sasha pinned Nikki Cross. Same spot she pinned Charlotte a few years ago when she won the NXT Women's title a few years ago. So Bayley and Sasha come out. Sasha's wearing a hot white outfit. She looks great, as she always does. Bayley comes out wearing dark leather, and Bayley's just really annoying. Sasha definitely feels like such a bigger star than Bayley. Banks says they're role models and leaders. They know the titles represent friendship. Bayley is about to read a poem for Sasha Banks when Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross interrupt. And all I can think is when I see that, I feel like I see 2 variables with both teams. One of them looks like a star. The other one just kind of just a friend. It's kind of like the hot high school chick, and then she has her friend that's just not attractive with her. That's how I kind of view both these teams. Sasha is the good-looking girl. Alexa's obviously really good-looking as well. Alexa, as usual, always looks great, but Nikki Cross comes up with her, and she just doesn't fit. Bayley does fit with Sasha because they've been together for as long. Nikki does not fit Alexa. I've always noticed that. I've noticed, Alexa feels like a much bigger star. The Nikki Cross thing's run its course. And once Nikki leaves Alexa, I think she, probably on the chopping block, to be quite honest. But I don't think, I think she just put Alexa in a singles position. I think she probably will. They'll probably break up after this is over. So Bayley's mad, they interrupt. And then you have the Iconics. Now, unlike them, both of them are attractive, but both are horrible. Billie Kay is horrendous. Peyton Royce is just average. She's not horrible. She's actually, compared to the standard, she's pretty bad. She'd be an okay diva, but Billie Kay is horrendous. Anyway, they appear on the big screen, and they mock them. They have the Raw logo in the background. They note they beat Bayley and Banks down on Raw, and if they don't want that to happen on SmackDown, they shouldn't turn their backs on Alexa and Nikki. And then Alexa and Nikki appear behind. The camera went back a few times and we saw their asses. We saw Sasha and Alexa's ass at the same time. I can't complain about that. But they go back like 3 times. This time Alexa and Nikki are behind Sasha and Bayley, and they beat them up. They punch Sasha. Alexa hits Sasha. She falls down. They beat up Bayley. They got a good number on Bayley. They retreat, and then they show the Iconics on the screen, and they set up the triple threat tag match for Backlash. This was a good segment. I thought it was well done. So already the show has been good. I thought this was a really good show. You had 3 good things I like already. You had the really good segment with Jeff Hardy, Sheamus. I really love the Daniel Bryan AJ match, obviously. And this was a good women's segment. So you had 3 really good things on the show, even though the main event was probably one of the weaker things. You had Kayla Brax interview Miz and Morrison. She's obviously pissed that they slimed her last week. So Strowman, and they show a Matt Riddle video package. He's on SmackDown now. Main event, Strowman and Heavy Machinery against Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho, and their partner, Dolph Ziggler. Miz, Morrison, Ziggler. It's just 2009. That's what I feel like, 2010. I don't need to see this shit anymore. There's a run their course, even though Morrison just came back. So it's okay. This is average. Not a big fan of either teams. Strowman's been an average champ. It's not really his fault. He wasn't supposed to be champ, but he's been average. Heavy Machinery. They show Mandy Rose in the back, and they show Corbin stalking her. We didn't see Sonya Deville on the show, but we saw Corbin stalking her. Otis gets so mad, he goes to the back and he beats the holy shit out of Baron Corbin. And I heard it's Baron Corbin and Otis at Backlash. And I did hear this rumor that they had such a shitty match that it went so bad, it was so horrible, that they actually had to redo the match. I've heard that rumor. I know I have a source in WWE, don't ask me who, but I have heard that rumor from sources there. I've heard that. So hope, that's pretty embarrassing, but I did hear that. So the main event's there. Otis comes back, finally. Him and Mandy come back, and what happens is he gets the hot tag. He runs well on the heels. He launches Ziggler over the top rope onto the floor. Strowman then runs around and ringside, locking everyone down with shoulder blocks. Kills people in the hockey glass. It looks cool. He does a few times. Ziggler gets hit with it bad, and Otis hits the caterpillar on Ziggler. He owns Dolph Ziggler, defeats him again. And Strowman and Heavy Machinery win. They tease Otis, cashing in on Strowman, but he does not, obviously. Otis is still with Mandy, and what happens is you have Braun, Otis, Mandy Rose, and Tucker celebrate their win, and it's only a matter of time before I think Tucker turns on Otis and they split up Heavy Machinery. I think Tucker's going to cost Otis the Money in the Bank, probably against Strowman. That's how I see it going. And that was SmackDown, the go-home show for Backlash, which takes place this Sunday.